Hello and welcome to the DOGE and Maha News channel. My name is Chris. In this video, we're going to react to Speaker Mike Johnson as he talks about Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy visiting Capitol Hill. So let's go ahead and check out what he has to say. Okay, there's Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, and looks like Speaker Johnson is heading to pedestal there.
Musk. Welcome, everybody.
There's Speaker Johnson.
What? We're all excited. I know you're all excited that Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy have joined us today. This is an important day. It's the beginning of a journey. You've heard what DOGE is all about, the Department of Government Efficiency. It's a new thing, and this is a new day in Washington and a new day in America. We have long lamented the size and scope of the government, that it has grown too large.
Wait, who is we? Yes, I know the government people have long lamented the size and scope of government, and it's grown too large, but I don't know if the politicians have. The politicians on both parties, Democrat and Republican, seem to love growing government, love spending money, and they abhor or hate efficiency and cutting back. So I don't know who this we is. I don't know if Mike is speaking just for himself. I don't know what's going on here. But I don't think politicians actually lament the size of government.
And let me be frank about this. Government is too big, it does too many things, and it does almost nothing well.
Facts. Facts, facts, facts. Too big, too large, too slow, and does almost nothing well.
And the taxpayers deserve better. They deserve a more responsive government, a more efficient government, one that is leaner and more focused on its primary objectives. And
that's true. The government needs to be focused. These government agencies need to be focused like a laser beam on their primary objectives. What did Congress tell or mandate? What did Congress mandate for that government agency to do? That's the only thing that they should be doing. That should be their primary focus. They shouldn't be doing all these other pet projects and different things that they're working on that are outside of their mandate. They need to stay focused, and that's how they'll stay efficient.
That's the opportunity that we have here now. We believe it's an historic moment for the country, and these two gentlemen are going to help navigate through this exciting new day.
You know, it's crazy to me that we have to have two guys outside of the government, Musk and Ramaswamy, come in and actually make the government more efficient. Why hasn't this not been the focus of our elected leaders? You know, instead of making our government bigger and bigger and bigger and spending more and more money, they should have been focused on, okay, how do we make this more efficient for the American taxpayer? How do we spend the American taxpayer money more and more efficiently instead of spending it, just throwing it around? So I'm glad that finally something's happening, but it's too bad that it took two guys outside of the government to actually make this happen.
Elon and Vivek don't need much of an introduction here in Congress for certain, and most of the American people know what they're capable of and what they've achieved. Both of these gentlemen have run very successful organizations. They're innovators, and they're forward thinkers. And so that's what we need right now. And so what you're going to have today is, first is a meeting that we'll have here with decision makers, key figures in the Republican House and Senate who are chairs of committees of jurisdiction who deal with the money and financing of government and the structure of government. We'll have chairs of the new DOGE caucuses that have been set up in the Senate and the House.
That gives me a little bit of optimism because both the House and the Senate have created DOGE caucuses. And although they're primarily filled up with Republicans, I believe there are a few Democrats that are actually joining those caucuses. But honestly, all congressmen and women should be joining these caucuses and focused on reducing costs. But there's going to be a number of people, especially on the Democrat side, that are fighting this. There will be a few Republicans as well that are going to fight this. So, but it's good that there are caucuses being created, and that means that hopefully there is more support for DOGE going forward within our Congress and our Senate.
And then after that, we'll proceed to the Congressional Auditorium, where all of the Senate Republicans and House Republicans have been invited, and I think many of them will gather for this discussion. So there won't be a lot of detail for the press today, and that's by design, because this is a brainstorming session. It is the first, again, as I said, of a long series of meetings that will be held as we're laying the groundwork for the new year and the new Congress. And you're going to see a lot of change around here and in Washington and the way things are run. We need to make government more efficient, and that is what this whole objective is. That's what the DOGE effort will be about. And you're going to see a bicameral cooperation, and it will be, by the way, bipartisan. Over the last 24 or 48 hours, you've seen a number of our Democrat colleagues, both in the Senate and the House, who have said, you know what, sign me up. I want to be a part of this as well. So we welcome.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear that there are some Democrats that have some common sense, and they are joining the DOGE movement. So we'll see. Hopefully that will help move things forward quicker.
Welcome that. It should be a bipartisan effort, and I think we're going to do great things for the country. So I guess I'll take one or two questions, but
that you'll find $2 trillion in cuts without cutting programs like Medicaid, Social Security. Do you have confidence that you can find cuts to that level, or will this meeting be an opportunity to level set to a more realistic number? And second question, do you support clawing back federal funds that the Biden administration is pushing out in these final days, including to companies like Rivian, a competitor of Tesla?
Let me answer these questions in reverse order. We're very frustrated by what the Biden administration appears to be doing right now, and that is, as you said, shoveling money. As someone said on a hidden camera on a clip that I saw, someone in the administration who's charged with distributing the funds said it's like we're dumping gold bars off the Titanic here at the end.
Yeah, honestly, it is disgusting. It is really sickening to see how Biden is and his administration is just dumping money and throwing it here and there, and because they don't care. I mean, the Biden administration does not care about the American people at all. They never have, but it's disgusting, and I cannot wait until they're out and it ends.
We take over in January, and until then, the big government Democrats are still in charge, and they're spending money, in our view, recklessly. And so, yes, we've had a lot of discussions over the last couple of days about what our authority would be to claw some of that back and to stop it. It's a serious challenge, and we need to stop it and expose what's happening. That's what this effort will be about going forward. There is an enormous amount of waste, fraud, and abuse in the government, and I think everyone knows that intuitively. And so the efforts here, both with our subcommittees that are being created here and with the DOGE effort itself, will be to explore that, to investigate it, and lay it bare for the American people to see. I think that's how we'll begin to bring about the change that we all need. So this is an ongoing effort. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker.
Some labor unions are already fighting back. They've already signed contracts to try and get this, that they could be able to work from home, things like that. Your reaction to that?
Well, there was a report that came out today. I don't know if you all have seen it, but someone did a little survey of how many federal employees are actually working in the office. By one estimate, it may be about 1% if you don't count the security personnel that are covering these buildings. That is absurd.
I mean, even if it's not 1%, let's say it's only let's say it's 25%. Let's be really optimistic. That is still way too little. I mean, there's got to be a certain percentage of these government workers that are just logging in. They have some software that wiggles their mouse a little bit, makes some clicks and stuff like that, and they're off doing other things. You know, maybe they have another job even, and they are getting paychecks from both the government and their other job. I mean, or they're traveling or whatever they're doing, but they're not actually contributing to these government agencies. They're not actually contributing to the American people. So it's disgusting, and it needs to stop.
And it's not something the American people will stand for. And so one of the first things that I think you'll see is a demand from the new administration and from all of us in Congress that federal workers return to their desks and get back to the work that they're supposed to be doing. I think that is common sense. What you're going to see here, the overriding theme here, is a return to common sense and a return to accountability and efficiency in government. I think that's going to serve the people well. There'll be a lot.
A return to common sense and government in the same sentence. What is that called? An oxymoron? Return to common sense and government. Well, hopefully there will be.
There'll be a lot more to tell you all in the days ahead. Thanks for being here.
Conflicts of interest. Mr. Ian.
Well, I thought that was pretty interesting. I'm really looking forward to see what Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy can do and the relationship with Congress and the Senate. Hopefully, they'll start adding more and more people to these DOGE caucuses and get some momentum. I definitely think once they start to make some cuts after Trump gets into the office and they start making these cuts and getting rid of this wasteful spending, I think there's going to be some momentum and more congressmen and women will jump on board, and there's going to be a wave of government efficiency and demand from the American people that this happens. I think it's really important, and I'm excited. I'm following this story every single day. If you want to follow this story every single day, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. I'm going to bring you the latest updates daily as much as I can. And if you're interested in more Doge stories, I do have a link right here to my Doge playlist. Why don't you go ahead and check that out? But otherwise, I just really appreciate you and thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.